slaves as people. I believe
So
they're
then would it be okay
subhuman.
to enslave them?
I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and talk about slavery because slavery doesn't have an impact on me.
Yeah, I think we are, because I need an entailment here. The entailment here is that I don't consider them people, and as long as I don't consider you a person, why would it be a problem to enslave you then?
Because I'm not enslaving people. I'm casting a spell. I'm casting justice.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. You said that slavery, when I asked you what that meant, would be to hold someone against their will.
There's a lot of things wrong with slavery. I don't think I need to sit here and say what's wrong with slavery.
What?
Do we really want to get into
slavery? Yeah, I really want to get into it. What's wrong with it from your worldview?
From slavery?
Yeah.
Considering the fact that it rips families apart, considering the fact what they do to slaves.
Yeah, but that's all a side effect of containing someone against their will, right?
There's a lot more to it, though.
No, it's really just that.
There's a lot more to it.
What else is there?
Holding a spiritual belief and owning slaves are not comparable.
Oh, no, they're totally comparable if the logic's the same. So let's start with this. What is a slave itself? Forget ripping, because there's some slaves not going to have their family ripped apart, none of that. What is a slave?
Someone who is indentured to another person.
They don't have to be indentured? It's just somebody controlling somebody else's will against their will, right? That's all a slave is, isn't it? To a certain extent,
yeah.
What do you mean? What else?
But that's not. But
I'm not. Give me a better definition.
I'm not holding someone under my will forever. All I'm doing is I'm pushing what's already coming towards them.
So then it's okay to hold people as slaves temporarily?
No, I'm not.
Well, then that argument makes no sense. That I only hold their will temporarily. That's the same as me saying I hold a slave temporarily.
I'm not taking away their will. I'm pushing what's already coming towards them.
Was it your ex's will to get a broken back and fall down 3 stories?
It was the universe's.
But not his.
It was the universe's.
And did you affect the universe?
Yeah, I would say so.
So then if you affected the universe, then you contained his will. How's that not slavery?
I personally believe if someone punched you in the face and you punched them back...
That's not slavery.
No, because slavery is not comparable. This is comparable.
No, it's not a containment of will.
If I punch you in the face and you punch me back...
No, that's a response to will.
Right, so I responded to my will being taken away.
I'm not containing his will. You're containing the will.
I took my power back.
Right, by containing somebody else's will.
Call it whatever you want.
Call it slavery?
I took my power back.
How is it not slavery?
How is witchcraft not slavery?
Yeah, how is it not slavery to affect a person's will and get them to do things they ordinarily would not do?
I guess you could call it that. It's manipulation of energy.
Okay.
Well,
and it's more nuansed than that, though.
I don't think it is.
If an abuser put a hex on you, would you consider that?
It wouldn't land.
How do you know?
If it did
because
land.
it's... Okay.
Let's pretend it did.
It's not going to land. I have people who try to hex me all the time.
I'm just asking a question. I'm trying to get clarity because I don't. I'm just trying clarity. Just so I can understand.
What's your question?
Just what the difference is, like where you feel it would be okay to put a hex on somebody else and it's totally okay, but if somebody were to put that one on you, how would you feel about it?
That's their decision. It happens to me so often that it really doesn't bother me. I have my protection set up, and I believe if I genuinely did something to harm someone, to cause them out, I think you need to understand the amount of anger, the amount of pain that a victim has to go to the point where they want to go take spiritual repercussions against another human being.
I have been assaulted at gunpoint by a stranger, so I know.
You understand the anger and
Oh, of course.
It's a way for me that I was able to take my power back after it was taken away from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a question on this because you're trying to get justice for victims. Do you think in the justice system people are falsely accused?
That is a factor, but it is considerably lower than I think. I don't think it's a big factor.
You don't think it's a big factor?
No, I would say majority of victims are not false reporting. I would say vast majority.
I'll even grant that the majority of victims are not making false accusations.
There's an overwhelming amount of women who don't even report what's happening to them.
Okay, so will you concede that women do make false accusations?
Yes, it does happen.
And it's actually, in this specific crime you're talking about, it's actually there's higher incidence of false accusations of this sort of crime where people have sort of misunderstandings of what is and what isn't. But so you said you only do this to abusers. How would you come to the determination that someone's actually guilty?
That's a really great question.
Or they just say he abused me and you just believe it in all instances?
I have my spells set up so anything that you put out returns back to you ×3. So if I hex someone and they didn't do anything wrong, it's not going to impact them. It's not going to hit them.
Wait, I don't understand how that there's like a
that's how I have
there's
my
like an
spells set
asterisk.
up.
There's an asterisk on your hexes.
Yes. So you write a petition. A petition is a big part of it. You write petition specifically what you want to happen, and in my personal petition, how I personally practice, I put in the petition that if the person is not doing anything that they're putting out, they're going to get back ×3. So if they're not doing anything, no, go ahead. You go ahead.
So if I asked you, for example, to put a hex on somebody, and I tell you that they abused me, but they didn't, like the hex wouldn't work.
No, not if you went to me. If you went to a different practitioner, maybe if they did it differently. But that's personally how I do mine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It depends on who you ask.
Fair enough.
But I do believe the victim overall, because I do think a vast majority of the people coming to me are not falsely accusing. I would assume most people who are going out of their way to pay for a service done, there probably is a reason there.
I have an interesting question, because you like to say a lot of things are very nuanced. Have you ever stopped to think that a lot of abusers are also victims? And
yeah.
That because, so where's the cycle end? Like if you're saying I'm coming after you because you abused me, but he abused you because of someone who abused, like he is also a victim. Like I don't know the situation, but like in a lot of situations, people hurt because they're hurt.
Yeah.
So where's the justification of saying now I'm just going to push more hurt onto you, though you are now acting out of hurt? Like where's the kindness, where's the love, where's the stop of it?
Where does it end?
Where does it end?
Where does it end? More focused on getting justice, whenever way that see fit. And
so then there would be no end. So therefore,
there's never going to be an end to violence. There's never going to be an end to abuse, because that's just not how the world works. I really hate that the world works like that, but it's never going to be like that. The world is never going to be equal. It is never going to be fair.
So to be clear, with these hexes, and let's assume this person is being falsely accused and they're innocent. So you cast the hex, but so the hex doesn't work if they're innocent?
Mm-hmm. Based on how I have mine set up.
I'm a little confused by that. I mean...
Well, you don't have any really knowledge of witchcraft.
I have zero knowledge of
witchcraft. So it's kind of hard to explain.
Her fine print, I guess.
I'm not trying to figure out, so basically it's like you write a fine print, if that makes sense. You write a contract. It's kind of the same thing as like a clause for marriage. We won't, a prenup, right? You don't get 50% unless someone cheats. So it's kind of the same. It's like a prenup, I guess. I write prenups for my spells, if that makes sense. I can put it in that terminology, and I think that'll make more sense to everyone.
Yep.